Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the next terrifying episode of Random Rhapsody's Sonnet of Blood. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for this Curse of Strahd playthrough. And joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Dyto, Joe, and Natalie. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Marty, unfortunately, is out of town tonight, so he will not be joining us. He is out there being a rock star, but that's okay. Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, HeroForge. HeroForge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tools let you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator tool right in your web browser, which is where we made the tokens for this game. You can build yours today at heroforge.com. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely. You can blur, remove the background entirely, or even put your favorite picture as your background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. Now, last but not least, you may have noticed that we are on YouTube now for our live performances. That's right, we've moved from Twitch to YouTube because Jeff Bezos sucks. But that's okay, because YouTube is kind of awesome, and we're learning a lot about it. And, you know, we're going to be streaming here for at least the foreseeable future. We're also looking into cross-platform streaming, which we might end up being able to do by the end of fall, but we'll see. But for now, hang out with us live on YouTube, and then catch up on everything that we've done in the past by checking out our playlists here on the channel. And that's going to do it for the announcements. So join us as we dive into the land of Barovia and continue on with the Conclave Expedition as they attempt to survive. A Sonnet of Blood. And we're back. So, if you've been watching for a while, you probably already know that we do our recaps a little bit differently on this series. Whoever volunteers to tell us about our last session will be getting the Random Rhapsody coin, which they can redeem during the session for one free Nat 20. Which means that, yes, if I'm the one that does the recap, I'm going to get the coin, and I'm going to use it. And I've been looking forward to it all this time, but chances are they're not going to let me get that. So, with that in mind, who's going to be doing the recap for this session?
I will.
Okay. Well, Vide, why don't you go ahead and tell us what happened 2 weeks ago on Sonnet of Blood?
So, a lot happened, really. We left Mary's townhouse and headed towards the Heart and Soul Tavern. Or was that the Heart and Soul Tavern? Can't remember which now.
Heart,
Uh,
heart and soul. You're right.
Anyway, but we went there to look for the Burger Monster's son. On the way there, we ran into an old lady and a singing goblin. They're selling some weird pastries. I did not partake in these pastries. I don't believe any of my companions did. Although Danika did earn a free one by deciding to play along with said singing goblin. Very, very strange times indeed. We learned that this old woman was Mrs. Morgan and Toby the Goblin. Delphine got some strong hag vibes off this old woman, so we decided to have Danika plant some of Delphine's hair on the goblin to spy on them. Don't quite understand that, but whatever, wizard things. We finally did end up at the inn. I tried to use some of my my past and try to get a little sympathy from the bartender to get myself a free drink. It almost worked. It usually does. But those Vistanis, man, they did not appreciate me trying to get myself a free drink. Although Danika was able to talk them down from their highly overcharged rooms with a nice little drum solo. Guess you can win everybody's heart somehow. Just not me. While drinking, we were approached by Ismark. Ismark the Lesser. Apparently, this is the son of said Burger Monster. We asked him about this letter and who Van Richten is. Ismark seemed a bit surprised by our questioning. I guess we just didn't pick the correct place to ask about it because he, suddenly hushed us and it's like, hey, let's go to his home. So, we agreed. While we were talking to Ismark, Delphine spied on Toby through that hair. Still strange. We heard sounds of Mrs. Morgan taking a child. Of course, we can't let that go. So as we left, Delphine and I spotted the old woman and Toby leaving town. We were discussing what to do, but then Urzak saw it, and can't stop him once he's got his mind to set to something. But oddly enough, a brooch tripped him. I didn't think something so small could bring down such a large person. When we finally caught up to her, everyone tried to distract her while Delphine was wanting to see what's in the sack that she had strapped to her cart. But Toby really did not like that, and he pushed her away. Ismark was helping us out, though, and we finally ended up with the sack. The woman threw it at Danika before leaving, pissed off, no doubt. All while threatening never to return to the village. I mean, I guess we don't necessarily need her. She doesn't seem like such a great great person. And we found a small child in the sack. She pieced out, leaving us in charge of a kid, because, we're the type of people you should leave a kid with. After a quick game of knotted over who takes the kid, we ended up at Ismark's to discuss who's now daddy. I guess that's going to be to be seen. At his mansion, we met Irina, the one and only mentioned in the letter, the wounded one. Cog noticed she had some wounds on her neck and decided to ask about that. Still I guess we don't really know for sure, other than about 5 days ago she started acting strange. And then 3 days ago, the mansion itself was assaulted. It's like something was beating it up or something. Who knows? That caused the Burger Monster to have a heart attack and die. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I would be pretty freaked out too if something was attacking my house. When asked who it could have been, Ismark said everybody knows it's Strahd. I mean, well, clearly not everybody because we didn't. he also admitted to wanting to defeat Strahd, but now he needs to get Irina to safety before he can get his revenge. He also said Van Richten was a man who, with the help of 2 others, led a rebellion against Strahd 34 years ago, after the vampires swore to kill humans in Barovia. The rebellion failed, but Strahd stopped his war on humanity. Ismark's father believed that Van Richten survived. Ismark requested that we take Irina to the town of Aljiba, since travelers are generally allowed to move freely without harassment. Unfortunately, we are apparently not going to be allowed to leave Barovia now that we're here. I guess that will be, we'll see how that plays out for him. And then Urzak apparently told this kid we're going to be taking on Strahd. Hopefully we don't disappoint the kid and we are successful in our mission. And I believe that should be it.
Yeah. Well done, Vide. There you go. You got that random Rhapsody coin there up above your little window. So make sure you use that before the end of tonight's session. Okay. Well, Conclave Expedition members. You are all now seated in the rather comfortable sitting room of the Kolyanovich Manor in Jova Village. A pair of overstuffed couches occupy the center of this room, which is gently heated by a small fire in the fireplace, near where Delphine is kind of leaning up against the wall. All about the room, holy symbols decorate each and every wall and every level surface. A hopeful ward in an otherwise hopeless existence here in Barovia. The man seated before you all in the large armchair is Ismark the Lesser, eldest son of the former Burgermeister, and first up to replace the man, it seems, judging based on what you've heard in the town so far. The platinum blonde-haired man has just asked you all to escort his daughter, Irina, to the town of Aljiba at the other end of the valley, where he hopes that she will be safe from the vampire he believes has bitten her. Ismark seems to have the same desires as Urzak, namely to rid the land of Barovia of the devil once and for all. But before he can do that, he needs to see his sister somewhere safe. And like he said, Aljiba is the farthest away from Castle Ravenloft. It's got huge walls and an abbey dedicated to the Dawnfather. So he figures if anywhere is safe, it would probably be there. Now, the conversation has come to a small lull. And about that time, you see that the door to the south opens up, and the young woman, been introduced as Irina, makes her way in, carrying a large tray laden with cups and saucers, milk, sugar, a large steaming teapot as well, not to mention a plate full of pastries. She's carrying this large tray and kind of starts making her way around the couches towards that little table in the center of this little sitting area that you're all in. And as she does, she's like kind of carrying it very wobbly and that sort of thing. But expedition members, what all do you want to do?
What kind of pastries are these?
Well, you see this woman, she's walking around. She's kind of standing between Danika and Corwan, making her way to that table. Go ahead from your place there near the fireplace. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Cog would obviously offer to help to steady the tray, but it's a height issue. So you're like,
You just stand under with your
Vide, why don't you help her? She seems to have me some trouble with that tray. I'd help, obviously, but and he's gonna make just the motion of jumping up. He's like, it wouldn't work.
Vide will get up and help her. Well, do I need to roll anything, or do I just get up and help?
No, you can stand up at she's kind of wiggling between Corwan's chair and the couch that Danika's seated on, and you see her kind of wobbling a little bit more. But as she does, you're quick, and you stand up and grab the tray from her. Like, let me help.
I rolled an 11 perception.
It looks like some type of flaky pastry. It's been cut into small pieces and arranged on this little platter, so it's kind of hard to tell what it was originally. But it looks like pastry with some type of brownish filling inside.
Did you make these yourself?
You call out as Vide is taking this tray from her, and Vide, as you do so, your eyes meet Irina's, and she gives you a very small, shy smile as she says, "Thank you very much. This is so heavy."
I do like a little head nod. You're very welcome, and I will take the tray and put it on. That is a table in front of us, right there.
Yeah, it's a little coffee table.
Okay, I'm gonna take the tray and put it on the table.
As you're doing so, Irina looks over to you, Delphine, and she says, yes, I did make this morning. It's just a little bit of what we call a stolen.
It's stolen?
No, it is not stolen. I'm like I said, I made it myself. It is just called a stolen.
I just want to clarify. You didn't get anything from Mrs. Morgan, right?
Oh no. Ismark asked me to stay home for a while. I've been feeling very ill, and I have not had the desire to leave the house in a few days now.
Danika's gonna take a pastry, and she's gonna eat it.
Make a constitution. No, I'm just kidding.
Then she's gonna shove some in her pockets. All the pastries.
Yep. Ilyana takes a moment and begins pouring tea for everyone. She picks up the teapot and begins going around pouring each into a cup and places it on a saucer before passing it around to everyone.
Wait,
the tea smell.
Ilyana?
Ilyana. Or sorry, not Ilyana. I'm sorry, Irina.
Okay.
It's been a day. Irina is moving around and pouring these cups of tea, placing it on a saucer, and passing it out to everybody. The tea is herbal, smells a little floral, has a nice refreshing smell to it. She tells you, we have some sugar left, and the cream is from our goat. Everything from here is was either purchased by Ismark or collected from our garden.
Well, thank you.
I'm sure it's wonderful.
She smiles at you as she hands you yours. I like mine with sugar. Perhaps you try. And lastly, she makes one up for Ismark, putting in a lump of sugar and a little cream and stirring it before handing it to her older brother. He takes his and sips it very lightly before saying, "Thank you, sister. These travelers that I've met, I have asked them to do what we have spoken of, to escort you to Algiba. I am hoping that they can leave sooner rather than later. And as he says this, she kind of straightens and gives him a very sharp look. She puts her hands on her hips and she says, Ismark, what? This is not necessary. I'm fine, brother. I've told you, I am fine. It is just a bit of illness. In a few days, I'll perk up just fine. And Ismark, he says, No, Irina. We have spoken on this. It is not safe for you here. You must leave the town. The villagers, even before you were ill, they always looked at you strangely, treated you weird. How do you think they are going to act in next week, a few days from now, anytime you go out? No, it is safer for you to get out of this village as quickly as you can. She scowls again and she says, No, Ismark. I am not going to leave while our father still lies above ground. You know his wish. You know he wished to be buried in the cemetery of the Dawnfather. If I leave now, it will never get done. You cannot do this on your own.
Would that be the cemetery that's north of town?
She turns and says, Well, yes, of course. What else? Where else would it be?
Well, I mean, I am new here. I can't speak for my companions, but I mean, I am a cleric. I am a holy man. I would be honored to help you see your father into the ground. That is one of my duties as a cleric.
You would do this for us.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'd do it for anybody.
Kind of his job.
Nobody in town has been willing to help Ismark. Ismark insists that I stay in the house, and
well, I mean, I don't know Ismark very well. I've just met him, but he's been one of the only people that's kind of given us really any information about what's going on around here. And if I do say so myself, my dear, I understand what's happening to you. I think it is better that you are protected. And if this, you said Algiba, this monastery, if they have more powerful magics than I can help you with, we may be able to take care of what afflicts you. There.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Cog.
Go back to normal instead of advantage with a good old +1. Oh, it's 7.
You can see a bit of stubbornness set in on the lips, and she tells you, there is nothing wrong with me. As I've said, it is just a cold, nothing more. But
it's gonna get much colder.
Well, of course it is going to get much colder. It is autumn. In another month or so, it is going to be winter.
Not the coldest I met, ma'am.
She just kind of looks. She looks between you and her brother. Go ahead.
I don't mean insults here, ma'am. I really don't. I've seen such afflictions back where we're from, and it. I can't tell you it's going to be a pleasant transformation.
Danica's gonna chime in. She's gonna be like, "Yeah, Cog really knows his stuff. You might want to give him a chance."
And once you're past the point of no return, it's much more difficult to reverse these things.
Ismark chimes in and he says, "Sister, I understand your reservations, but this is for the best. I will agree that Father does need to be put into the ground before you leave. And if that is your what's the word? Not
Conditions?
Conditions?
Condition, thank you. Yes. If that is your condition, then we will acquiesce. And we will take Father's body to the church." Irina looks between all of you, Ismark, and she seems to deflate a little bit under the stern eye of her brother. She says, "Fine. If that is truly what you wish, Ismark, then I shall obey. Take Father to the graveyard. It must be done while the sun is still in the sky. Father's wish was to be buried while the sun was still up."
What time is it now?
You had just been outside like maybe 30, 40 minutes ago. It was like early afternoon. So you still got a good 5-6 hours before it gets dark. Yeah.
And I think perhaps we need to be going. Because holes do you know if there's a hole prepared for your father's remains, or is this something we would have to dig ourselves?
Ismark speaks up. I've spoken to him. It should be prepared, hopefully, but Donovich is not the most reliable I have ever known. He is a good man, but I have not been to the cemetery to check since speaking to him yesterday. And that flares Irina up again. Like, she just turns and she levels this hard stare at Ismark and she says, "You have not even been back there? What is wrong with you, Ismark? What have you been doing?" And she kind of leans in close to him and she sniffs a little bit. And you can hear an audible sniff. "I know exactly what you have been doing, Ismark. Our father is lying in a coffin that we built ourselves, sitting in the back room while you sit at the inn drinking." Ismark kind of hangs his head a little bit as he says, "I have been busy looking for someone to get you to Algiba, Irina. Me drinking at the inn has nothing to do. You know Donovich. He could be at it for another week. There was no reason to check on it today." Irina puts her back up and she says, "Well, now is as good a time as any." She turns to the rest of you and she says, "I am sorry for bringing my family's troubles into your lives as well." And she turns and stomps her way out of the door, slamming the door behind her. Which I added.
Well, the good thing is I've seen a grave or two in my time, so if it's not dug yet, I could probably help with that.
You have you? Perhaps the one you crawled out of? I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Urzak, you got big, strong arms. You could probably help with that. He's just gonna volunteer the big oaf while he's not here.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that.
Oh, you know
Wow,
what?
Marty's here? I thought he wasn't playing tonight.
I don't know who Marty is, but I'm right here, and I can lift it up, no problem.
Ismark, do you have a cart or something we could? I guess your father's here, right? Not at the church.
Yes, my father is in the other room.
Well, if you have a cart or something, we can transport him to the graveyard.
I'm afraid there is a wheelbarrow in the shed.
I guess that'll have to do. I mean, unless you guys want to play pallbearer. I mean, I'm not exactly. I'd have to stand under it. I mean, I can help. I mean, whatever's gonna get him there quickest and most efficient.
If the wheelbarrow is our only option,
Let's grab
it's
it.
not the best one, but
It's an option.
It is technically an option.
I mean, with my +0 to strength, I ain't gonna be doing much helping.
right.
I'll do my best, but
And the wheelbarrow it is.
maybe Cog can help lift.
Uh,
You got a leg or an arm there, Cog?
all right. Remember, I weigh 38 pounds. Okay.
I mean, I could magically
Well,
transport him about.
we can take care of it. We'll figure it out.
I will help as well, of course. I'm sure between the 6 of us, well, 5 of us, I suppose. He looks at you, Cog.
And a half.
Yeah, I got you. I'll help what I can. I'll be on goblin duty. Keep that goblin away. I know he seemed nice and you people liked him, but I don't trust him.
Now, do you have any other questions for Ismark before you make your way out?
Can you can maybe your sister babysit Deros?
I think she wants to be there.
Oh, she wants to be there?
No. We will not let my sister out. Go.
Oh, I figured she'd be there to help, see her father to the ground. She might want to be there. Or is she not? I mean, if she doesn't, that's fine.
Honestly, with the way the village acts around her, it would be safer for her to remain here. But I can ask her to watch over Davos while we are gone.
His name is Davros?
Oh yes,
Davos.
yes, the kid. The kid. What do we do with this kid?
I mean, we could leave him here for now while we go do this.
We'll figure that out, yeah.
He
Tree
seems to
wouldn't-
be enjoying those pastries, so.
Oh, he's definitely stuffing his face with them. This is very good.
I appreciate it.
I'll
Would
hand
you
him my
mind
cup.
staying here with Irina while we bury their father?
I suppose so. I do not
Wait,
know.
I thought she's in the other room.
She slammed the door.
Yeah,
She
she did.
is.
This is Davos.
But I'm asking the
little
child.
kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard. Sorry.
No, the kid says, I don't know what else to do, so if you tell me to stay here, I will stay here. He's just a big, wide-eyed little kid, dark brown hair. He looks like maybe 6 or 7, but it's hard to tell because he's just skin and bones.
I'm gonna hand him my tea and, like, here, you might want to add some sugar before you drink it. You seem like you might need a drink after all those pastries you ate.
Yeah, he's like, it's so hot.
Oh
Blow
yeah,
on it, dear.
blow on it first.
There's just a spray of pastry and tea all over the table and the tray now. Hey, I'm sorry.
I kind of pat
It's all
him
right, big guy.
on the head. It happens to the best of us, kid.
Anyway,
Let's start and try and get him across town before the sun goes down.
Yes.
Yes,
Um,
let's roll.
If you exit out to the left over there and head into the main hall, the door to the left, opposite the door by the stairs, is the parlor where my father's coffin is. If you all head in there, I will go and speak with Irina about taking care of Davos.
Oh, there's a
Thank
coffin
you.
that we can use.
What's that?
There is a coffin. I thought we were like having to carry this body, like.
No, it's a coffin.
Okay, I thought we were like I said. I thought we were just carrying a body with and not like by itself. That makes it easier.
So you all make your way out. The coffin is over here in the other room. You can also take some time to explore if you want, while Ismark goes to talk to Irina. The sitting room or the lounge area where you find the coffin has a single fireplace, a very large table in the center of the room, and a small assortment of bookshelves. Like the other room you've been in, it is covered with holy symbols all over the place. And you can actually recognize more than one type. You definitely see some to the Morning Lord, not the Morning Lord, the Dawn Father. But you also see some to a depiction of the moon, and as well as several others. It looks almost as though they've been collecting holy symbols for some time and just have them spread all about. But in the center of the room is a simply carved wooden box that has been nailed shut. It's about the size and shape of a human body, and from the smell, you're fairly confident that this is the body of the former burgomaster. Urzak just walks in and like, okay, let's give it a try. And he's gonna attempt to pick it up with an athletics check.
Guidance.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'll help as well, because I mean, I'm not gonna expect him to do it by himself. Should I do an athletics as well, or do you want to let him do it with advantage?
Go ahead and make everybody who's going to be lifting together make individual athletics checks. This is going to be a group check to pick it up.
How many people can get guidance?
I can only guidance one. Cog can
Yeah.
guidance another.
Okay.
yeah, I can guidance myself. He can maybe shoulder it. As long as you guys aren't dicks and carry it too high.
That's an 11.
That's
for me.
9.
14.
5.
5.
We're doing
So-
great here, guys.
I mean, working together,
hate-
you're all lifting it. It's
I hate to say it, but I think Urzak is also exhausted.
Oh, yes, you're right. He is. I forgot
Really?
about that. Let me go ahead and re-roll that. I rolled literally the same thing, so that's okay. Anywho, you're all struggling a bit as you're trying to lift this. You have to put it down a couple times and recheck it to because it's dead weight. But
But don't.
yeah. A couple minutes later, you see Ismark walking in. He's like, please, let me help you. I figured you were going to wait for me.
Watch it with fucking pythons. Just shoulder it like friggin' Schwarzenegger and Commando carrying that tree. He's just gonna one arm that shit.
Damn it, that wasn't supposed to be meant to public. He rolled a 14, which isn't terrible.
Well, I'd say it's enough moderate passes.
Is it
10?
Oh, is
10
it,
a pass?
GM?
10's a pass,
Yeah,
right?
I don't see
Is that
it.
what it is? Actually, yes. Working together, you all are able to lift this and carry it. It is kind of heavy, and so like you're kind of holding it low, which allows Cog to assist as well.
Oh, good.
It's a bit of a struggle for you all, though, because you're having to get it out several doors before you get onto the street. By the time you make it out into the main foyer, Irina is standing at the top of the stairs to the second level looking down, and she's watching you all kind of struggle and get it out through the first door and then to the front door, watches as you get it out the front door, and as the door closes, you hear her calling, "Do not take too long. I do not want any of you out after dark." You all...
Now I need to ask the question, what happens in the dark?
You say as you're like going inch by inch down the road.
Danika is going to use her knowledge of the city streets to help us cut our time in half.
Wait, couldn't we have just went ahead and grabbed that wheelbarrow and used that to make our trip to the cemetery a little easier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, I get that we needed to carry it out of the house.
How
Mhm.
big's the wheelbarrow?
I mean, it's a fairly standard wheelbarrow, so it's not going to hold the whole thing. But if you like put it on there and you have a few people carrying it while two people in the back are lifting the arms, you're able to make it down across the city street to the church with relative, well, not ease, but not as much difficulty as you
It's-
thought you would.
It's better to have the two wheels under it so we don't have to use our full strength to carry the whole damn thing.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with this.
Okay. Now, as you all step out from the large doors of the Burgomaster's manor and situate the coffin on the wheelbarrow to begin taking it down the street, you all gaze north towards the church that you can just see slightly peeking up over the rooftops of this village. You see that the warmth of the day has finally burnt off the remaining morning fog in the tree line, and your eyes go upward. There, high atop the mountain, you can see tall spires and high buttresses of the structure that can only be one place: Castle Ravenloft. It is currently illuminated by the slow descending of the afternoon sun, and so you can see the outlined silhouette of the castle, though its features are indistinct even at this distance. The castle is massive. It's a complicated complex of dark gray stone peeking up from high stone walls that are surrounding it. as a paladin, Urzak would know at a glance the difficulty a siege would be against this type of structure. Someone inside of it could hold off an army for months, if not a year or two, just with how large and well fortified the structure is. Now, given what you know of its current occupant, a siege in against a place like that, probably an exercise in futility. And as you're realizing this, each of you have a shiver going down your spine as you gaze up at that castle, which seems to loom ominously over the village. It doesn't take you more than 15, 20 minutes to wheelbarrow and kind of duck walk this coffin down the long street to reach the church at the far side of town. Now, atop a slight rise, this building kind of sits on a little bit of a hill that butts up against the roots of this very large mountain before you all. You can see that the building itself is a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and its worn and weary outer extremities looks like it's barely holding itself together. There's a bell tower that rises towards the back of this building, and flickering light shines through the holes in the shingles of the church's roof. Rafters strain feebly against an ancient and rotting load of the rooftop of this building. It looks like a sneeze and a soft kick would probably send this entire thing crashing inward on itself. The grounds around it, kind of similar. You can see that there was at one point grass and trees and bush, but most of it is either rotted away or you see signs of burn marks and char. It's dark and desolate and very dirty, and a lot of the church itself just kind of is strewn about. You can see like bricks and broken glass and pieces of wood and things like that. It's an interesting sight, to be sure. And no, the screen isn't supposed to be black. You should be able to see it.
Yeah, mine's black too.
Mine's not.
Because we don't have dark
Oh.
vision.
Mine's black too. And I know I have dark vision.
Oh, that's probably it. Hold on. No, daylight mode is on and the brightness is all the way up.
Oh,
There
it is.
Now you can see it?
Yeah.
I can't see. Can you? So the whole. Okay, I can see like the outside, but the whole building's
Yeah.
blacked out.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's because we haven't
Okay.
gone into
We
that.
That's what I
haven't
thought.
went in
Okay.
the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the map popped up though.
Okay. Just checking.
That's all
Okay.
that matters.
Even the
Okay.
cat sees it.
Yeah, even the cat sees
You leave my cat out of this.
it. But
I think your cat wants to be part of it.
Danika, knowing that she is barely doing any lifting with her 5 strength, is just gonna dip out from the group and she's gonna walk up the front steps. Are there doors?
Yeah, there are a pair of double doors that are closed currently.
Okay. She
Yep.
She is going to knock on the double doors, and she's just gonna knock real hard, and she's gonna be like, excuse me, is the sexton in?
You go up to these doors. They are heavy wooden doors, and as you get close to begin banging on it, you can see very clearly that the doors are covered in claw marks that's just raked across side to side. There's also scorched areas. Fire has been set to this door and been put out. It's seen some abuse. And as you hit it, poof, doof, 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 the whole frame of the door just shakes a little bit under your hits, and you get a shower of dust that falls down over your face. After a moment, you hear, Yes, one moment, please. One moment, I'm on my way. And after a few moments, one of those doors are pushed ajar to reveal a very old-looking man. He's a human, very, very pale skin, a very large, bulbous nose that is bright red, and deep-set, sunken-in eyes that make him look like he hasn't slept in days or even weeks. He has short, cropped silver hair and a clean-shaven face, and he's wearing tattered, old, almost moth-eaten looking brown robes. From behind him, you can see that there is a corridor that goes in a little bit of the ways, but you can't see much past him because he kind of has the door just slightly ajar. And he says, "Oh, yes." And he looks you up and down, Danika, and then he just gives you a Yes, my dear. How can I help you?
Excuse me, you're the sexton here, right? You're in charge of taking care of the cemetery?
That is correct. I am Brother Donovich.
Well, nice to meet you, Brother Donovich. My name is Danika. We are here to bury the burgomaster, and we have to do this before nightfall, so we would really like to kind of, get things rolling.
Oh, the burgomaster, yes. Ismark the Lesser, he's told me that he would be along shortly. I've prepared I'm blanking on the word,
gravesite?
The burial site. Everything is ready. Yes, one moment, please. Just wait here. The cemetery is out back. And he pulls the door closed behind him.
Does he say he sees the door closed? Oh, God! Get back here! God, you shouldn't leave! People care. Oh, where's the hole? Just throw him in the hole. Where?
Danika's gonna make her way back. She's like, "Good job, short staff. You're doing great. You're doing great."
Oh,
Then she's gonna heave up the edge of the casket or the coffin that's right where Cog is.
Everyone else looks, and Cog wasn't supporting anything with weight whatsoever.
I was too. He's just breathing deeply. Now he's got his hands on his little knees.
Where do we need to take this? It is getting heavy.
The Brother Donovan said he had our graveside open. He said the cemetery is in the back.
Do we just walk around? Do we have to go? Do we go through?
I don't know. Should I go? Okay, Danika, let's go to the casket again, or the coffin. And she walks back to the door and she knocks really loud and she asks, "Excuse me, Brother
You see him. You hear this first. One moment. And he's like kind of huffing a little bit as he opens the door once more. He has on like a long red cloth draped about his shoulders that kind of extends down near his ankles that he's pulled on over his old robe. He is also carrying what looks like a book bound in wood that looks ancient. He very swiftly pushes the door open and starts inching his way through the crack. But he's a big guy, and he's got a big belly, and so the door clearly opens more than he intends. And as he gets through the door and begins pushing it closed, Danika, what's your passive perception?
Let me look, but it's probably a 13. How do I look? How do I tell? Tell me how I do this.
Your passive, it's 10 plus perception.
10 plus perception. My perception, it's 12.
12. Okay. So you can hear something.
It should be a 13 because you're a jack of all trades, so you have half proficiency.
So I have half. There we go. It is 13.
Yeah, so it is 13. Okay. You can kind of hear this in the background. Just the sound of an echoey yell. But it's really it's indistinct and hard to hear.
God damn it.
And the door slams behind, and he says, "Oh, here we go. I've got everything that I need. Please." Ismark the Lesser. There you are. The grave is dug, and we are ready to get things moving.
At hearing that noise, Danika's gonna, Brother Donovan. Brother Donovan, I really, you wouldn't happen to have a ladies' room here, a bathroom? I really gotta go, and I'm afraid I just really need to relieve myself. If you might have some facilities here.
Yes, there is a bush right over there, and he points to the left.
Brother Donovan, you wouldn't do that to a woman, would you? That is disrespectful, and I thought you were a brother.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my dear. The only privy I have is in the back, an outhouse, but you are welcome to use that if you wish.
Like the back of the monastery? Am I going inside?
No, it's around the back. If you follow me, I can show you as we make our way to the grave.
I guess. Danika's gonna fall back, and she's gonna lean over and whisper to Short Stack, "Short Stack, I think I heard somebody screaming inside." She's gonna whisper it really quietly.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Did everybody hear, or did she, who was the only one that could have heard that?
Just her.
Just
She's
her.
the only one who could have heard it.
God damn.
Wow.
I got two 25s.
Okay. Yeah, even at disadvantage, you are pretty damn sneaky as you say this. And the priest does not seem to notice whatsoever. He is just leading you all around the side of the building. Oh yeah, I know.
There's
I rolled
3
a
19s by you two, and then 2 for her and 1 for you. So 3 19s in a row right there.
Yeah, that's crazy. He leads you around the side of the church towards the back, where you can see a very large cemetery. Very, very large. I'm actually going to show you here on the Jova map so you can kind of get an appreciation of this. Here's the cemetery right there.
Yeah.
I'll show our viewers here as well.
Where's his plot? It's probably the very back corner.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be fun otherwise.
It's the most inconvenient one up the most steps and or hills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of
it's,
course, he
right
was the burgomaster. He's got to be on a pedestal.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere right around here. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, he leads you out around to the back and into the cemetery, and leads you to a plot that has, like I said, already been dug. It does not have a tombstone on it yet, however. And Ismark notes this as well and points it out to the old priest. And the priest assures him that it has been commissioned and should be arriving by the end of the week. There are so many deaths, you understand. It takes a while for the stone carvers to have one made, but rest assured, it will be done soon.
Oh, Matt, where are the facilities at?
The facilities,
Yeah.
probably like right around here.
Okay.
It's just on the outside of the.
Danica's gonna turn to the group and she's gonna be like, I really gotta go. I am not feeling good at all. And then I think it might have been those pies that Miss what's her name again? What's the hag?
You
Morgan?
mean Miss Morgan?
Miss Morgan.
Yeah, she's gonna throw a wink. I think it was one of those pies that Miss Morgan gave us. And then, but she's gonna turn to Delphine. She goes, Delphine, I don't want to go alone. Can you go with me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, ladies always gotta go to the bathroom together, right?
Ain't that the truth? So she's gonna grab Delphine and they're gonna start walking towards the facilities.
Okay. It's literally an outhouse, just a 2x2 box that's in the middle of the cemetery, not far from.
How far is it from the plot?
Fairly far actually. Like we're gonna say it's right here. There's the outhouse right there. The cemetery and everything else isn't on this map. It's like a good 60, 70 feet away.
Well, that's perfect. The farther we get, Danica's gonna tell Delphine that she was hearing like the screaming coming from the inside of the chapel.
Like screaming, like a child screaming, like an adult screaming, like they're being tortured.
Matt, did Danika have enough perception to kind of define that?
It literally sounded just like a scream from someplace really muffled and like you're hearing it through several layers of something. So the fact that you heard it at all, you're kind of glad. But with as low of a roll, you didn't get anything more than that.
Okay, well, I don't know. It sounded really muffled. I don't know. I tried to sneak away to see if we could check it out, but I don't know if I want to get into too much trouble without everybody.
Well, I mean, we can look through a couple of windows.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, Delphine, you act as the lookout while Danika heads into the bathroom, and the rest of the team goes walking off towards the grave site. You wait until that moment when you're sure they're pretty far away. They've gone up a hill, around a little bit of a bend, and there's a couple mausoleums and things in the graveyard as well. You know, small stone structures. So you're a little bit obscured from view. Like they'd have to be looking directly for you to spot you, and so you're fairly certain that at least for the moment you're somewhat safe. So what I'm going to need you to do is both of you make stealth checks for me.
Okay.
And then you can do pretty much whatever you want. Mm-hmm.
After when Danika went into the facilities, she took all the toilet paper and flushed it down the toilet or whatever.
It's an outhouse.
Outhouse.
I don't know
So-
if she just threw it in wherever it goes. I don't go to outhouses
Yeah.
too often.
So,
It's like
so
a porta potty.
yeah, think of basically a hole in the ground that they stuck a little wooden box on and put a smaller box over the hole so you could sit down on to poop. What they
Okay.
used for toilet paper back then, typically leaves.
Okay, well, I'm going to put all the leaves in there. If brother asks, I ran out of leaves and we had to go inside. But there's tons of leaves outside, which is stupid now.
But you shove all the leaves down the hole into the cesspit, and then make your way out again.
It's a foolproof plan. I don't see how this is wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really persuasive, okay?
They keep the
I
grizzly
will
inside.
keep the. I will let you deal with the lying. Because you don't want me to do that. Stealth. I'm gonna guide myself because this seems moderately important.
I got 2 19s on stealth.
Again, it's 4 19s in a row for you. Something.
8.
Well, I mean, she rolled 13. But yeah, it is weird that
Well, I mean, it's just the 19 total. Then yeah, I mean, but still,
it is weird that it's coming up the same number twice. Roll me 2 more numbers just randomly to see what happens. Doesn't matter which skill. I don't care.
What if that ruins my luck?
I'm just curious now.
Let's see.
They get the same skill though. Oh,
See, there you
yeah,
go.
they're different. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. I was
Okay,
just curious. Anyway,
had to get those out of the way.
so Danika, you're moving very, very stealthy, and right behind you is Delphine, who trips on a root and face plants into the dirt.
Son of a bitch.
Danica's
She yells loudly.
She's gonna turn around and pat her shoulder and help her up. Thanks for helping me look for leaves.
You yell really loudly.
Oh,
For the rest of you, Cog, Vide, Urzak, Ismark, and Donovich, in the distance, you would hear her voice. Thanks for helping me. And Donovich looks down there.
It's better
but-
you don't ask. We don't. Trust me. It's a headache.
Make a persuasion check.
See if this goes.
We'll say with advantage because Vide and Urzak's helping and all that.
Oh well, a 14 since he wouldn't be doing guidance, but a 14.
Yeah. Still 14. Donovich is an old man. He looks like he's got to be in his 70s at least. My eyesight isn't as good as it once was. I suppose I'll take your word for it. And even Ismark is kind of looking down there, and he looks at the rest of you like, "What the fuck are those two doing?" But he doesn't. He's smart enough not to say anything.
Vide does one of these.
You don't want to know.
The bard is she's a unique personality, let's just say that.
They usually are.
Best just to go with it.
So what's the plan, ladies? As Donovich, Ismark, and the guys are all burying this corpse.
Where's the closest window?
Right here. You can actually see it on the map. There is one not far from the porta potty.
We're gonna go up to the closest window and see if we can see anything.
Right.
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and make perception checks.
I'm not good at these either. Dirty 20.
Damn it, I got a 4.
You did get a 4. You can't hear anything. But Delphine, with your dirty 20, you're looking in the window, trying to see here. Now, what you can see is in that main the the room that you're looking in right now is clearly the chapel, which is in shambles. There's overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floors. There are dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras, all of which are lit, and it lights up every corner of this dusty, decrepit area, almost as though the priest is attempting to rid the chapel of shadows. You can just barely see in the corner there that there is an altar in the center back of this room, which it's hard to tell, but it looks like it's been chipped and cracked and scratched up as well. You can also hear a sound. Again, it's distant, a little more distant than it was from where Danika was, but you can hear it with that dirty 20. You hear, Father! Father, I'm starving! Please let me out! Father! Father, where are you?
Danica's gonna look around like an airhead because she doesn't hear or see anything.
This is exactly what Delphine is doing, is she's just rubbing her forehead. I have a feeling I'm gonna have bad PTSD from this place. There's someone starving, and apparently the brother Donovich has a kid, and they're hungry.
Father! Where are you?
Can she tell if he's in like this room?
But also, I've seen some poor religious facilities, and even this is not well maintained by any standards.
Well, when I first knocked on the door, there was claw marks all over it, and there looked like some remnants that there had been a fire here recently. So it seems like there's something either trying to get in. Well, it seems like there's something trying to get in.
Do we want to try and get in and get a closer look? Or do we want to ask Brother Donovich if he has a kid?
We could. Danika wants to peek in the next window. She wants to see if she can locate him in this room. If we can see him in the chapel anywhere.
You can actually see like the destruction in the chapel through the window as well. It's not just Delphine's not the only person who can see that. You can see all these things too. The thing you couldn't hear is the voice. And you're looking about. You go over to the next window and look through there. You can see a bit more perspective. You can see that there's also a big O rope that stretches upward past your vision. You're guessing probably the rope to the bell that you had seen on your approach. You don't see any people, anyone at all. The area is completely deserted.
It's up to you, Delphine. You want to do it?
I mean, I don't know what we're going to find. Last time we found kids that were trapped, they were dead.
Well, I guess, you know what? If he's tied up, we can go in, we can see what's going on, and, we can leave him too. So let's go.
Well, hold on. Let me do some calculations real quick. I can get you in there. I cannot go in with you, but I can get you in there.
Can't we just go through the front door?
We can try the front door.
Let's try the front door.
By the front door.
Okay. So you make your way around to the front door about the same time that Urzak and Ismark is working together to lower the coffin down into the hole. As this is happening, Cog, you would recognize that Brother Donovich is doing the command spell or the ceremony spell as well, performing the rites over the corpse to protect it. The thing that kind of stands out to you as this is happening is during this burial ceremony, Donovich offers prayers to the Morning Lord in exchange for Kolyan Indirovich's deliverance from Barovia. He makes a statement a few times stating that as you are returned to the soil of your birth, we pray that your soul will be released from these lands and find peace out in whatever afterlife he may find. In the Morning Lord's embrace, yada, yada, yada. The front door to the church is not locked. You pull on it and it opens very, very easily.
Dun, dun, dun.
Once you open the door, you can see a hallway leading to the north towards the back of the chapel. There are doors to your right, to the left, 4 of them, along this pathway into. It leads into the chapel, which is that much, much more open area.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can we hear where the voice is coming from, or where it's at, or like, can we pinpoint if it's any of these rooms next to us?
Go ahead and make perception checks.
Okay.
Natural 20.
A 5.
Delphine, you can clearly hear a sound coming from the room to your immediate right. You hear a, "Hello? Who's there? Is somebody there? You don't sound like my
This
father. Are you there?" Yes, that room. "Hello?"
Do we want to be their father? Or who we think is their father?
I don't think I could be anybody's father. Hello? Hello?
I don't think I can.
"Hello? Are you there?"
Yeah, can't you hear me talking to you?
It's
Yes.
me, Margaret.
Who
Yes,
are you?
Margaret, can you hear me?
Oh my god.
I'm down below.
Below what?
I'm down in the Undercroft. Down here, help!
Why are
Help
you down
me!
there? Why are you down there? You need to settle down for a second.
What?
Why are you down there?
You're still in the other room. Like, he's calling out, but he's having a hard time hearing anything.
Alright. He said he's down below. So, I think I'm gonna try and open this door.
Okay.
Delphine, I have an idea.
What?
Well,
Uh-oh.
That pastor looked like a feeble old man.
Correct.
I think we should go back and push him in the grave. I can't see him climbing his way out, and that gives us free reign to do whatever we want in here, and he ain't coming out anytime soon.
I mean, that is a little extreme. I love the imagination. I like...
Imagination? Have you ever tried to climb out of a grave? Do you know how hard it is? Danica lifts up her tiny muscles.
I've a grave, not exactly. A well, yes.
If Vide was there, he'd be giving you a look.
I don't think we should push him in a grave. That's a little morbid, even for this place. But if we need to, like you said, he is old and feeble. Vide can probably just hold him.
Well, I guess if you want to take the easy way out.
She volunteers that the one with a +0 strength. It's a shame we don't have anybody that's stronger.
Or, you know what? Just have Cog sit on him.
I guess maybe. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. Well, you open the door and look into the room to find a room that time and neglect has punched holes into the ceiling of this very moldy room, which on the ground contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trapdoor held shut with a chain and a padlock. And from the other side, you can hear the screams of anguish from what sounds to be a young man. Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Please help me! Help me! I'm just so hungry! I haven't eaten in I don't know how long! Please help me!
Well, what's your favorite food? We'll see what we can do.
Anything, please!
You
Please help!
Pastries, right?
What? I didn't hear you.
Danica, you still have that pastry.
Oh yeah, I got some pastries in my pocket. You want some pastries?
Anything, please! Just let me out!
Are there any cracks I can shove it down?
There are not. It's a solid wooden door inset into the floor that's padlocked and held tight with a chain.
Wait, why are you down here? Why does your dad have you locked down here?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who is your father?
Make a persuasion check.
Who's your daddy?
I just want to make sure if we're talking about putting hands on this old man, that's who they're okay. Persuasion. Oh, this is gonna be great.
And Danica helped with persuasion.
Sure.
Who is your dad? She's gonna ask too.
Okay, that's a 13. That's oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
And 19.
My father's Donovan, the priest here at the church. I don't know why he put me down here. He pushed me down. He tricked me, and then he locked it up, and he's held me here ever since. Please help me.
Does he feed you at all?
No, he hasn't fed me since he put me down here.
How long have you been down here?
I don't know.
Has it been days?
Please. I'm so tired. I'm so weak. I just need something to eat.
Throw him the pastry.
I think we should get more information because, like I said last time,
I mean, there's probably a reason for this lock, don't you think?
I would hope so. And it would only be fair to let Donovan give his side of the story.
Yeah,
did we come to any conclusion?
Did we get his name? What's his son's name? What's your name?
You can't. you hear something, but it's difficult to make out. And you both pause there listening. It sounds like weeping, crying. Why do they torment? I just want something to eat.
Excuse me, there's a lock on it. I can't just magically make it open. We gotta get your dad to either give us the lock or find a really good lock pick.
No response comes.
Do you know where we can find the key?
How could I know if it was locked after he put me in here?
Well, I know that you can talk. What's your name?
Wow.
What is your name?
Say my name, say my name.
What is his name?
He's so hungry he forgot.
My name is Doru.
Doru? D-O-R-U?
Yeah.
Dora?
Okay. Doru. Delphine, let's go back to this burial and see if we can talk to Father Donovan about Doru.
You're not gonna help me? You're not gonna help me? And you start hearing some banging on the door. Help me! Help me! Why are you tormenting me like this? And he's like screaming and starting to bang against the door.
Doru, I told you like 5 minutes ago, maybe probably less than that, and we've only been talking for 5 minutes, that we gotta find a key.
Without a key, we can't help you.
I'm not a magician.
Stupid fucking people. Not helping me. Not willing to help me. Ah! And he just starts screaming. Like just screaming nonstop.
Alright, we gotta go.
Danika Pizza, I'm just gonna leave you there.
I think there's a valid reason that Doru is locked
I think so too.
in the Undercroft.
Let's go.
Wow.
The Adventures of Delphine and Danika.
By this time, the coffin has been laid down. Urzak, Vide, and Ismark are all in the process of shoveling dirt down onto the grave. As Father Donovich looks around and says, "You know, your friends have been gone for a very long time."
Okay,
What?
Danika.
You're right, they have.
Are you sure they are okay?
I am, yeah. Oh, good. You know, that's a very loaded question, sir. I understand maybe in a normal circumstance that would be oh, hey, are they okay? You have no idea. I'm sure they're fine, though. We would have heard a lot of screaming and yelling if anything were different. And explosions. Remember explosions. So I think they're okay, but I'm sure they're coming back.
So have we made it back to them by like the time of this conversation, or like slowly walking up?
I imagine by this conversation, you're just slowly making your way around the church and heading back towards them.
Danika, we should cover one of us in feces and say we fell in.
What?
It doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to make it believable.
Believable?
Danika,
Not that.
Danica's gonna look down at her like nice little boots, and she's gonna be like, "Yes, we gotta take one for the team." she's gonna go back to the outhouse and dip her boot in.
And dip her boot in?
Yeah, she's gonna say her foot got stuck. She tripped. She's gonna go, I got that nail and so I just fell right in.
Okay, you go into the outhouse to dip your foot into the cesspit. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, jeez.
Thank God this isn't at disadvantage. Although it should be.
I feel like it should be too, honestly.
Part of me wanted to see a nat 1.
I got a 13.
You go to stick your foot into the cesspit, and you have to reach down because it's pretty deep. Like, you want to do this like a good 8-10 feet down. So
I didn't know that. See, you
Like,
and me are picturing this
Well, he's
toilet
just-
very differently.
He's just one man. I mean,
Yeah,
how
I
much?
know. Yeah.
This
It's
isn't-
been around. It's
Hey.
been around longer
Oh.
than him. First of
This
all,
isn't Homer in the pig trough, okay, in the movie. This is just
This
one
is-
guy.
I think we need
Anyway.
to visualize the toilet because you're
as you're putting your foot down into it and reaching, trying to just dip your boot into it, your boot falls off and lands in the muck, and you're just dangling there with a stockinged foot and no boot.
I think you need to. I can't reach it. Anybody got longer arms? Delphine, what if I kind of lower you to get it?
I mean, I am the one that convinced you to
Oh,
put your
it's-
boot in there. But you know what? I'm gonna be a little smart about this.
how did
Yes,
things
please
go
don't
so
fall in.
wrong?
And we didn't even open the padlock door.
She is squealing now. She's laughing so fucking
I am going to. No, I can't do that. I have to do that after a long rest. Never mind. Okay.
Should I go find a large stick or two? Danica's gonna yell
Sure.
real loud across the cemetery.
Oh, shit.
She's gonna scream. She's gonna be like, "I got my boot caught in the lavatory."
Everyone looks to see Danika hobbling on one foot, like just hobbling because her boots are healed, and so she's just like, my boot fell in the toilet. And the men all just
Dude.
look to see the sight of Danika running up towards them,
I'm just
screaming about her boot.
look
in the
at Brother
toilet.
Donovich and be like, do you see what I mean by that was a loaded question?
V just kind of turns around and just like, oh.
Short stack, I gotta lower you.
Absolutely not. I heard what you said.
Oh, we gotta
No.
lower you into the lavatory. I need you just to grab it.
No,
Please?
that's a hard no.
Short stack, I don't ask for a lot.
Hey, you know what? Urzak's a big tall guy. Let's get something. Let's manufacture a hook or some kind of a device to grab your boot.
Yeah, we have
Brother
those.
Donovan, do you have rope in the?
Someone's got to have rope. Yes. You know, do you realize what we're doing here? We are laying a man to rest. And then you scream about dropping your boot in the poop.
Danica's gonna make the sign of whatever. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, morning glory. I don't know.
You know, all right. How about Urzak? Can you please? You know what? Actually, Vide, can you please go help? Urzak's a holy man, such as myself. We will stay here with Brother Donovich and Ismark. We will complete the ritual. We will
Well,
finish
are you
burying
saying
him.
that holy man cannot help a woman with their boot caught in a lavatories?
I think Urzak would chime in at this point and said, "No, he's just saying we're not going to."
No. Well, I mean, I'm most definitely not going to. But I was just saying, I mean, because he's big with the shovel and the dirt and.
Danica's gonna start crying,
How?
like crocodile tears, and she's gonna be like,
How?
"I thought
You
we
know
had
what?
something special short
We-
staffed."
We're gonna table the question of how this happened for just a few minutes from now, okay?
Okay, well, Danica's gonna grab Vide's hand. She's gonna be like, "Let's go. I need a shoe."
Vide just. I guess I can hold my breath.
So we make our way back to the toilet.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, brother, Brother Donovich, I don't know how.
Why do we let
how
you
this
guys
happened.
be alone again?
When we're farther enough away, we're gonna tell Vide the situation.
Right.
The situationship. We're gonna,
Now that's a
We're
bit
all-
more fair.
but we're also gonna get my boot.
I really don't want you to have that boot anymore. I think it's just gone at this point.
I feel like it's only fair to have Vide try his best to get my shoe.
Sure, why not? Vide, you're a bit of a cowboy. You've got rope, and you could probably do a lariat. So
Probably.
go ahead and give me a dexterity check.
Guidance.
You can also use sleight of
guidance.
hand if you want to for this. If you have proficiency, if not, it's just going to be a dex check. You can have guidance for it. You
Everybody's-
need to hit a 15.
See,
Said I
everybody's
Danica.
can. Yes, I can have guidance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Danica, we're gonna
Delphine-
see if.
Delphine,
gonna
a
see if-
little help here, please.
Oh yeah. I'll cast guidance.
That's a D6 or 4.
Four.
D4. Danica, we're gonna see if Vide is as good with a lasso as he is a whip.
God, please be a.
Oh, 15. 15.
Wow.
I feel like it should be advantage because I'm there cheering on Vide.
You,
Oh my-
you don't get advantage.
That's
It's just one person doing it. Good news is, Vide very skillfully pulls out his rope, makes that little noose thing, drops it down, and just with a snap of his wrist, almost like snapping a whip, he lassos your boot, comes pulling it up. It is caked, almost completely, in shit. And it is the most disgusting thing any of you have ever smelled as it goes whipping out and flies at Danica.
It's a good thing Vide is good at holding his breath.
oh,
Danica's gonna look at her boot and kind of shake it a bit or something. You think it'll come off?
maybe
Cut.
if
That's
you
gonna
want
need a
it.
lot of washing.
Cock doesn't have prestidigitation.
I have prestidigitation. Prestidigitation. Danica uses prestidigitation.
Okay. You're going to have to, and it's going to take a few turns to get it all clean, but you can prestidigitate your boot clean.
Doesn't
Gives us
matter,
time, gives us
Doesn't
time
matter.
to tell Vide what's going on.
it doesn't matter what scent you put on that boot. It's always going to be there.
You're not even there. You don't do your religious ceremony.
Someone
Yeah,
who's
there's
been
nothing
camping
that
a lot.
that scent.
It has been on a lot of construction sites with porta potties. That smell ain't going away.
No, it's not.
But I think that's actually a great place to take a break. So, stay tuned, everybody. We will be back in just a few minutes. And when we return, Danica is going to be walking around in a stinky boot, but the ceremony will be complete, and we'll find out what happens next on Sonnet of Blood.
Yay!
Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, Danika decided to stick her boot in a cesspool and is now walking around with what we are all collectively referring to as Stinkfoot. But the two of you are making your way back to the grave where Ismark and Urzak and Vide are busy shoveling away to fill in the hole with dirt, and it's pretty much full by this point. And as you're all approaching, we'll say that Urzak turns and is like, "Oh, hey, where have you all been? We're almost done here."
And Urzak asks who stepped in poop.
Danika's gonna walk up to Urzak and give him a nice pat on the back. Thanks for all your hard work today, bud.
What happened to you?
I fell upon some hard times in the laboratory.
It was quite it was quite hard.
And squishy.
Like, Ismark and Donovich are just standing there with, like, their mouth open and... What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. So we done here?
Ismark nods and says, "Yeah, I think we are here. Thank you, Brother Donovan. Thank you for Donovich. Thank you for all of your kind words. But we should make it back to the manor." And he kind of glances up at the sky, and you can all see it's probably about 4:30-ish. The sun is just starting to duck down behind the mountains, but it is mountainous to the west, and it is getting dark relatively quickly, relatively early for you Loropans, especially those of you born in North Emia. But Father Donovich says, "Yes, thank you all so very much for your help. This would have been so time-consuming, and I must get back to my prayers. Hopefully some of the townspeople will show up for the sundown mass, though I'm not too expectant." And he turns to Ismark and he's, "Ismark, you have not been to service in quite some time." And Ismark just looks at him and is like, "Yes, Father, it not many do these days. I am just very, very busy. But I think we should all get back quickly. Wouldn't you agree?" He looks to each of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have responsibilities down under to take care of.
Nah. Don't know what that means, but we also have to get back to the inn. You have to play tonight.
Yeah, I do.
At this mention, Ismark says, "Before you do, would you mind returning to the manor? I wish to settle a few things before we leave in the morning." And at this, Donovich says, "Oh, you are leaving, Ismark. Where are you all going?" Ismark tells him basically that you're all leaving town soon and escorting Irina to another town. He keeps the details vague, but as he says this, Donovich says, I'm very, very happy to hear that. Your father and I have been friends for many, many years, and I have been so worried about the both of you when I heard he passed away. It is good to know that you are getting your sister out here. I've watched you all grow up. I've watched as Kolya took your sister in, raised you all up. Lovely to see the two of you together. It pleases me to know that you are taking care of your sister. Go ahead, Delphine.
You know what, Brother Donovan? I think you really need to hurry back up to the chapel. There was somebody inside just screaming and hollering your name.
The moment you say that, you see him pale. What do you mean? You heard someone screaming my name, and like you can see his eyes are kind of looking shifty.
When Danika was using the outhouse, I heard someone screaming, "Father, come help me! Let me out!"
Oh yeah, I heard that when I got out too. He kept saying he was starving.
I'm sure all you heard was the church itself. It's very old, in much need of repair, and I'm so very old. I cannot keep up the maintenance of the place. No doubt all you heard was something falling or something crashing. It's nothing.
Falling and crashing makes word noises.
Hey, you never know.
I kind of raise an eyebrow at that. I mean, I know I didn't hear, but they told me. But yeah.
Danika points at her ears, and she's like, "These aren't just decoration."
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
That is a 22.
It's not difficult to tell that he's straight up lying, like at all, and doing a very poor job of it. But with the 22 insight, there's something more behind that. Like, he seems legitimately concerned, worried, in a fatherly kind of way.
I'm gonna look at him and tell him, I mean, if you need help, you could always ask.
Vide does know about the locked door.
Yeah, you all told me about it.
Well, go ahead, Vide, and make a persuasion check.
That is a 5.
Like, you see this man just kind of take you in and look you up and down, and he shies away from you a little bit. Oh, no, I have, there's nothing I need any help with. Believe me. Believe me.
Is Ismark by us?
What's that?
Is Ismark by us? Okay.
Yeah, Ismark is walking along with you as well.
Danika's gonna scratch her head like a bit, and she's like, "I swear I kept hearing something. I think I heard him say. His name was Doru."
Just
Eve, what's your passive insight?
Mine?
Yeah, 10 plus your insight modifier.
13.
13. You see him react to the name. Like, he definitely did not like the fact that you said that name, and he's there's nothing. I promise you. You are just hearing things on the wind. That's a quite common occurrence in cemeteries. The cemetery here is quite haunted. Indeed, the spirits of the dead rise from this graveyard every midnight. It's a horrible thing to see. I'm sure all you think you heard is echoes of that. And you can just tell straight up he's gaslighting.
Danika,
Perhaps my more persuasive friends persuade him to help.
Danika's going to be very matter of fact. She's going to be like, Father, as a person of the faith, I know you are lying to me. And I know Doru is locked in your undercroft.
Your undercarriage.
I know Doru is locked in your undercroft. We are offering to help you, but you need to let us know what's going on.
Yeah, while Doru is in the undercroft, all of his unborn children are in the undercarriage.
That was close.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check to see if you can roll above an 18. This is a high roll, though.
With advantage?
So unfair.
I try to persuade too.
Oh yeah, advantage, yeah.
Also, you can't roll under an 18.
It's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't roll under an 18. The minimum you're going to roll is 18, but you need to roll higher than that. So I want to see if you can roll.
Can it be advantage so it's like normal?
Since everyone is working together, and this is obviously something you're trying to get out of this guy, yes, you can have advantage to make it a normal roll.
21.
It would just be a straight roll for her since she's
21.
busted.
Yeah, you just had to roll once. That's all you had to do. Okay. With your 21, you've all made your way out to the front of the chapel at this point, and Donovich sits down rather heavily on the front steps outside. He holds that wood-bound book in his hands as he's looking down on it, and you can tell that you're pleased to a man of the faith has kind of rang true. Very well. The truth of the matter is, you heard correctly. My son, Doru, is locked in the undercroft underneath the church. But it's not what you think. I promise you it's not. Doru is unwell. You see, he appeared to me a year ago after being gone for over 20 years. He came to me in the middle of the night, crying to me, begging me for help. You see, Doru, he was... Oh, I'm sorry. 33 years ago, actually, not 20 years ago. 33 years ago is when this happened. You see, my son Doru, he very foolishly attacked Castle Ravenloft in revolt, along with several other young men in town. They were all led by this trio of companions. 3 men who claimed they were here to challenge the Count and rid the land of him. But they failed. Most were killed. All of the villagers that joined them were slaughtered. My own son Doru disappeared that night, and I assumed he was dead for many, many years, but a year ago he showed up at my door, begging me for help. He told me that the Count sent him to me to remind me that my god has no touch here in the land. That Strahd was ruler of all. My son was changed. He was not well, and I managed to trick him into going to the Undercroft, and I pushed him in, and I locked the chain to keep him there, to keep him from hurting anyone at all. For my son, he craves the lifeblood of the innocent, and I couldn't let him harm anyone. But he's my son. I couldn't just kill him. So I've left him down there, and every morning and every night I plead to the Dawn Father. I plead to the not the Dawn Father. I always say Dawn Father. It's the Morning Lord. I always pray to the Morning Lord to grant him peace, to free him from this affliction. But every day, my prayers are not answered. He kind of hangs his head into his hands and begins to softly weep.
Is it 33 years ago? And he just came back recently?
Donovich nods his head. His head's in his hands, but he nods.
Can
a
I
sense.
only assume that means he's been with guy on the hill this whole time?
That is my assumption, yes. When he arrived, though, he looked as though he hasn't aged a day.
Do you know what he is? I mean, I assume you know what he is.
He gives you a hard look. His eyes beet red, tears just streaming down his dirt-smudged face. Of course I know what he is. How could I not?
I didn't mean no disrespect, sir. I'm not powerful enough to reverse what has been done to him. Dare I say, where we're going, maybe they have someone that could come back and do this?
He looks at you oddly at that, and he's, where you are going? No, there is no cure.
Well,
None that mortals can do by any means. That damned alchemist, he claimed the same things. He said he could find a way to reverse the curse, reverse this affliction on those who had succumbed to it, even possibly freeing Strahd from it as well. But he kind of gives a rueful chuckle.
No, they're very... It's possible. It's just very, very powerful magic. As I said, well beyond my talents.
He chuckles at that again as well. Well above anyone in this lens. Which is why I pray to the Morning Lord.
Yeah, it seems like prayers don't get answered very well here, do they? The abbey that we're going to, in Algiba, I think, yeah, Algiba, right? He's gonna look at Ismark, Algiba. Would the proprietor of the abbey? I don't know who runs this. I mean, like I said, we are very new. I don't know who runs it. Would they be able to help?
He sits back a little bit and he thinks to himself, I don't know. I wish I could tell you for sure. The three who sought revolution, they too went to Algiba. They found some assistance there, or so Kolya told me. But what help they found, I cannot say.
I mean, I'm only going to say this because it's an option, not a delightful option, but there is a way to help your son, but it's not a happy ending.
He takes your meaning, and he... No, I cannot do that.
I understand
He's
your
my
reticence, but he's in pain, and he has been for 33 years. I won't say that would be an easy decision for anyone. But I mean, if we could deal with this now, and that would be the only way that we could deal with it. Or we could potentially see if somebody at this abbey would be able to come back and help. But that, I mean, he's going to look at everybody and goes, I don't have another answer for this, guys. I mean, even all the things I know from literature, from back home, from study and stuff like this, this only ends a couple of ways.
Yeah, you know, you're a Conclave member. You've done a lot of research. Go ahead and give me either a history or an Arcana check to see what you know specifically about vampirism and how to fix it.
That's 21.
With your 21, you know that there's not a lot of ways to cure somebody from vampirism. At least in Loropa. Now, on Loropa, there are vampires. They do absolutely exist, but they're very, very rare. There's only a handful that's ever been recorded. Namely, the Prince in the Swamp is one such. But they generally tend to...
That's a future one-shot right there, man.
Oh, it's something the Fab Five and the Debauchery Circus has heard about. Just neither of them have ever looked into it.
You go.
But anyway, you would know that for the most part, like the only way to really cure somebody of vampirism is to kill them and then attempt to resurrect them.
Yeah.
Either that or the extremely high spell Wish.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Well, and he would relay this. He goes, well, there's very powerful magic. There are things called a wish spell that literally you can wish for almost anything within magical reasons. But there is another way. We would have to take your son's life, and he could probably see the guy like, he goes, ah. But then we would have to perform resurrections on him once he is passed over. And hope that this world would even allow such a thing to happen. Because it seems magic is a little weird here.
It's very true.
Especially divine magic.
Perhaps we can give him time to think upon his options here. I mean,
he's been thinking about it for 33 years.
Well, but we need not be hasty in this exact moment.
Well, I'm going to need a pretty big persuasion check to try to convince this man to let you all kill his son.
Oh my God! Can I do it? Can I do it?
It's Vicious.
Vicious.
I mean, as you're even doing
I
that,
mean,
like,
I
like
will point out I do have a nat 20 that I can use.
Oh, she does.
I mean, if you want to burn that on this,
Danica's gonna hold her rapier.
Not necessarily, because it'd only be a 21 at best.
Father, this might be the only way he can find some peace.
yeah, go ahead, Danica. Go make one roll, just one roll. You have to beat a very high number to do this. Should I tell you what it is?
Yes.
it's almost
No,
gonna be.
Let her roll first. Let her roll first. And,
Go.
Mm,
Oh, just an 18. Never mind. I'm disappointed.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing there's gonna be a minimum of a 25 there.
So, you say this, and Donovich, he shakes his head. And no, I cannot allow you to kill my boy. He is my only son. He's all I have left of his mother. There's no way I can let someone kill him.
I understand. Let us speak to the proprietor of the Abbey, see if they have an answer that might better suit everyone involved. But I mean, unfortunately, I think until further notice, you have to suspend services here at the church. If you want to do services, perhaps you go to the inn, or maybe not Ismark's home, but perhaps at the inn or in the town square. But this building is too dangerous for regular people. Even for you, sir. I would dare say I would hope your son wouldn't attack you, but creatures such as him, instinct, and it's going to take over.
Now you understand why I keep him chained in the undercroft.
I do.
Father,
And he's going to look at you and goes, I do. Giving the stink eye to some of his colleagues. He's going to look at Urzak and be like, come on, you have to agree with me on this one, big guy.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to go down there.
Yeah, another thing. He is a vampire, and he has been that way for a minimum of 33 years. I think he's a little more powerful than us.
but he's weakened and he hasn't eaten.
Do you want to be? Do you want to be his next meal?
I vote we let
Father,
let
think about it.
our- Yes, let brother here think about his options. Let's see what we can potentially offer him realistically. We can always come back. I would recommend you keep that door locked, perhaps double locked, just to make sure everybody is safe.
that wood isn't going to keep him back for long.
Yeah.
Ismark, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Ismark just makes a kind of a quip by saying, well, it is a good thing that nobody goes to the church anyway.
Oh,
Yes, but we do not want him
dude.
getting out into the town over here.
Brother Donovich, do you have the means of making holy oil? Do you know the rituals? It's very similar to the one that you did over the burgomaster's grave.
He nods. I can do this one more time today.
I would suggest if you do that, and if you have any more that's already in the church, you keep that on hand. Because it won't stop him, but it would definitely make him think twice about coming at you again.
As you say that, he reaches into his robes and pulls out 3 vials that's tucked away in there, and he says, I am not, damn it, what's the word I'm looking for? I am yes, thank you, ignorant. I am not ignorant about my son's condition. I am well prepared, but I cannot leave here, and somebody must look after the church. I had hoped that my son would one day carry on after me, much as the way you, Ismark, is taking after your father as burgomaster. If it wasn't for those damned trio, if it wasn't for them, my son would be in his 50s by now.
Well,
That damned Van Richten.
perhaps your son can still take over for you. Never lose hope, sir.
Did you say Van Richten?
He looks over at you. Yes, that is the name of the alchemist who attempted to lead a revolution against Strahd 33 years ago.
You said trio, though. Do you know who the other two were?
I met them the one time that they returned to Jova here. There were three of them. The alchemist, Van Richten. The swordsman, known as Darts. And the wizard, Robert.
You said darts?
Darts.
D-A-R-T-S? Like literal darts?
Yeah, D-H-A-R-T-S.
D-H-O. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The swordsman is Darts, the wizard is Robert, and the alchemist is Van Richten.
Those names seem familiar to anybody? Or are they just to this world?
They're not names that any of you would have heard, at the very least. As he says this, he tells you, learn from the lesson of Van Richten, Darts, and Robert. They attempted to lead a revolution and failed utterly. The wizard was cast off the tower of Castle Ravenloft. The swordsman, seriously wounded and near death. But it was Van Richten himself who claims to have been the one who convinced Strahd to stop his campaign. I met with him the one time when he returned, just before he left. He said that he was able to convince Strahd not to kill humanity, if only to preserve his food source. And he promised me, he promised that Strahd would keep his word so long as he, Van Richten, left these lands and did not return. Ismark pipes in at this and he says, Brother Danovich, did you know that my father sent a letter to these Van Richten? These individuals, they found his letter on the body of father's man. What do you know of this? And Danovich, he looks up at Ismark and he tells him, your father did come to me and tell me that he had written to Van Richten. He said that he was going to attempt to request aid to get Van Richten to return. He said he was worried about Irina. So I'm glad that you are taking her away. I'm sure you know by now that Irina is not your father's natural daughter. Irina, she never knew it, but Kolyan, he found her at the edge of the Svalich woods, near the pillar stone of Ravenloft. She was but a girl then, no more than 2 or 3, you maybe a couple years older, and she seemed to have no memory of her past. So your father took her in and adopted her, and he loved her dearly. Ismark looks very surprised at this revelation, and he takes a couple steps back and no, brother, I did not know this. Father never spoke of it. What's that?
Well, I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought somebody said something.
So, everybody's learning some new stuff tonight. Doesn't mean she's still not your sister, understand? She's just not a blood one. We'll still take care of her. So don't let that go to your head. Is this Van Richten? He's still alive, but he's not here in Barovia anymore?
No, not for over 30 years.
Do you know where he lived when he was here, or did he have a base of operations that hopefully Strahd never got hold of?
I thought we were told that once you're in Barovia, you don't leave. Yeah.
Well, those Vistani can get people in and out.
Danovich nods at that. Indeed, the Vistani have the ability to get out of Barovia. How they do this, none but the Vistani know. But they have their ways. And if they have their ways, no doubt Van Richten did as well.
Maybe he allowed him to leave when he convinced him to stop. Maybe he said, "Get out of here, or I'll kill everybody." And maybe the guy just did what was right and left. I don't know. I've never heard of him in Europa. The name's never come up. So,
I believe he said he was from a realm called Darkon.
Yep, that's not one we know of.
No, it's not.
I didn't even know our world could get here. Or I say world, our land. I didn't know our land could get here. So I don't know where this Darkon is. Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't know as well.
Oh, that's a lot of information. Now, how long is your son? You said he returned to you after 33 years, or he's been back with you for 33 years?
No, he's only been back for a year.
And nobody's, well, that's a good thing. No one knows he's been here. So hopefully, if things go well, we can maybe see this Abbey, hopefully search for some answers, and we go from there. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to go there since you need to stay here, and we'll keep watch and protect your son as well as protect people from your son.
This is indeed my burden to bear. If you can find a way to cure my son, I would be forever in your debt. I wish you well on your journey. But be careful. Algiba is not far as the raven flies, but other than the main road, it is the only safe path through Barovia. The wilderness is very dangerous.
So, as far as the raven flies, how about as far as the halfling walks? How far would that be?
He kind of chuckles and very, very far, I'm afraid.
Oh. You go look at Urzak. He's like, all right, big guy. Looks like it's baby born time. He's like, all joking aside, you just take, the brother's hands, kind of clasp his hand and just kind of say a little prayer with him. He's like, I can't promise anything, but I will do everything I can. I won't make them answer for what I've chosen to do. He's like, they make their own decisions, but I will do what I can to help your son.
Thank you. Thank you, my halfling friend. I hope you succeed. Truly do.
I do too, sir.
Ismark is looking very thoughtful right now. As he glances at the rest of you and he says, well, it is getting dark, and I do have things we must speak on before we turn in for the night. I very
Danika
much...
also has a performance tonight.
It's true. Danika does have a performance.
As to that. And he's kind of like motioning for you all to follow him.
Okay, we're going to follow.
Mm-hmm.
You all make your way from the church, heading south back into the proper village of Jova. The sun... Yeah?
Twice as fast, because Danika knows city secrets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's really not a big village. It's not hard to find your way.
Well, we're getting there real fast.
Yes, we are. And as you're walking, you can see that the sun is starting to get lower on the horizon. It's about 5:30-ish in the evening now. Your stomachs are beginning to rumble a little bit as far as dinner goes. And that sun, yeah. The clouds are thick, and it does not help with the setting sun. The skies above are beautiful. Hues of crimson and yellows and orange. A vibrant display is before you. And as you walk away, you can't help but reflect on the fact that the skies are as red as blood. The blood that Doru was screaming about, no doubt. Not but an hour before. And it's a sombering thought as you walk down the city streets. Ismark tells you, I know I've been asking a lot, and do not think that you will not be unrewarded for your efforts. As the son of the burgomaster, I do have access to the funds my father did. And although it would be a fool's errand to steal the money that is owed to Strahd, I do have some money of my own. I must ask, though, that you leave at first light. That way you have as much time as possible to travel to Aljiba. And I was hoping I could entreat you all to stay at the manor tonight.
I don't see why that'd be. I mean, you still have to make your performance there because you did promise. I don't see why we
Can we do the performance and then go?
You can't just pay for the room and then stay at the. Yeah.
Why do
why
we
not?
pay for a room at the inn if we're not going to use said?
Because
Yeah.
we already paid for it. Remember?
Let's
Did
get a
already pay
refund.
for it?
Oh.
I'm gonna go
Oh.
get a refund. Danika
Oh.
is gonna get a refund.
You're gonna go talk to circus folk and get a refund.
I'm
That's
gonna get a
not-
refund.
Oh, don't
I
get
mean,
a refund.
whoa.
It was 5 gold. Just let it go.
Yeah, but we don't necessarily have to go perform. I mean, it's already paid. We don't use the room. They rent it out to somebody else. Win-win.
No, I think it would be nice to tell them in case they have to rent it out, and maybe get a refund.
Ismark tells you you are not going to get a refund from
Yeah,
the
they're
Vastan.
They're circus folk.
No, they're not circus folk.
So that the Cog's head, he's like they're charlatans. Of course, they're not going to give you back your money.
Well, then I'm getting a drink on the house.
I will be very willing to reimburse you for the 5 gold you had paid.
It's a principle.
Well, I mean, would it not be prudent to potentially at least still do the performance? Because these people seem like the kind that maybe we want to stay in their good graces. They obviously did bring us here and potentially could get us out of here.
I'll do my best. I can't make any guarantees.
Well, that's why I'm only thinking prudently.
Do we have time to make a pit stop and do this, Matt, before the sun goes down?
I mean, the sun's going down now. You estimate it's going to be dark in maybe an hour or two. So you could go in and do one now if you wanted to. If you go and talk with Ismark like he's wanting you to, chances are that by the time you're done, it'll be too late to go back. But then again, if you go do the performance and bug out immediately, you might have a little bit of light left. You're not entirely sure.
Can't we?
Tell you what,
Danika. Oh wait, go on. I'm sorry.
it'd kind of be like if Ismark is gonna relay, because like, well, he's like, well, how about this? You just go up there, you apologize, say things have drawn us away, keep the money as our apology, and then we go to the manor.
Cog. Danika's gonna look over to Delphine. You know what it seems like? We should have a Danika and Delphine adventure.
Yeah.
What if we meet you at the manor after my performance?
You know what? My life's not on the line. Have fun. I mean, I get it, but I think it's a bad idea.
I mean, I think she just wants to perform.
Well, I mean, she could. I took her to the Dancing Lily before we left La Ropa. The establishment my lady friend runs.
Mm-hmm.
Performance didn't go well. Maybe she'll do better here. I don't know. I leave it up to you. I mean, I think we'll go with Ismark. We'll make sure Irina's safe. I hate to split the party in Barovia of all places.
What?
I don't want to have to deal with the charlatans if she has a bad performance. It's been a day, and I can still smell the poop.
Danika, if you really want to perform, why don't you just perform for us? Win-win. We're all safe. You get to perform. Nobody dies. They can rent out the room because at
And
some point
the
they'll
last
realize
time
we're
you
not coming back.
The last time you sang, no offense, it was beautiful, but skeletons did appear.
I feel like I'm being ganged up on.
Dear, I'm not questioning your abilities because I have seen you sing very well and very poorly, but I've seen both sides of the spectrum. If this is something you feel you must do, I obviously can't stop you. You are your own autonomous person. But I would say perhaps we step inside, we tell them we apologize, something came up, and we will return at another date to perform for them.
Okay, we can do that.
It's not a cancellation, it's a postponement.
Tell them to keep the money. It's theirs as our apology.
Okay, we'll do that. I can't hear Matt at
You're
all.
muted, Matt.
Okay. So, it sounds like you're all making your way to the Heart and Soul Tavern so Danika can let down the owners that she's not going to be performing. You make your way over to the building, and as you step inside, the first thing you see is that bartender, the old man just standing there wiping mugs. He glances up at you, glances down again, ignores you completely, but you can see at least the two Vistani, the husband and wife, Maribel and her husband, sitting at the table, drinking wine and chatting with one another. You approach, and as you do, you can see there's three other people in the bar, in the common room right now. All of them deep in their cups, kind of ignoring everybody, all with that same desolate, miserable expression on their face as they just chug their cup. But Maribel looks up at you and she says, "Ah, yes, so this is the one. Yes, we've been telling our very large audience all about you. And as you can see, our numbers have doubled for today." And you look around and there's literally three other people in there.
Danika.
I was worried there was going to be a lot of people.
Danika,
You know what? Danika, your talents are worth more than three fucking people.
Thank you. Thank you. The Danika is... what are their names? Maribel and what?
Oh God, you gotta make me look again.
Her husband.
Dooba dooba doobie, scrolling.
That's okay. Maribel and spouse, I just wanted to let you know that something has come up this evening.
Alenka. I know.
Alenka. And unfortunately, I would like you to keep the money for the rooms and maybe rent it out to somebody else. But we must attend to something different tonight.
She looks up at you and she looks at you a little longer and then she just shrugs and says, "Okay, whatever. And I will keep that going."
Please do. You gave us this opportunity, and I really do appreciate it. And I'd like to make it up to you next time I'm here.
We will definitely hold our breath, waiting for that.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate your hospitality. Let's go.
The two watch you all leave, and as you get to the door and are stepping through it, you hear her yell, "Show is cancelled! Time to buy more wine!" that's it.
We're not gonna die.
Deception check. No.
At least tonight.
You all make your way back to the Burgomaster's house. Ismark does the exact same thing once you get to the door. Knocks, waits, knocks again. And after a few moments, the door is opened a crack, and you see Irina looking out. Ah, brother. It is done? And Ismark replies, yes, sister, it is done. Our father rests. And he points at the sun. It is still light out. The morning lord would be happy. The doors opened, and you're all ushered inside once again. You see Irina now standing there holding the door as all of you file your way through it. She closes it swiftly, locks up once again, and she says, well, I have done my part, though I still think this is pointless. I do not see why I have to leave you and go to Algiba. I can stay and help you, Ismark. Being the Burgomaster is difficult. You will have a hard time, and I can help you. And Ismark takes his sister's hands in his own. Sister, this is for the best. It is too dangerous for you to be here. Trust these individuals. They've helped us bury our father. They are going to stay here tonight. Trust in them and follow their lead until you reach Algiba. I will come when I can, and I will visit. And if it turns out that I am just being overcautious, I will let you beat me around the head, as you did so many times as a kid. And the two of them kind of chuckle a little bit and share one of those sibling moments. But at the mention of your group staying there, she says, oh, you are all staying. Well, we have 3 extra rooms. I will go and make up the beds. I hope some of you don't mind doubling up, though.
Oh, I'm sure Urzak, Vide, you guys are...
Cog?
Yeah, I feel like Urzak would just be like, what do you mean? Why do you keep saying that?
No reason. Camaraderie, buddy stuff, I don't know. Just gotta give
He
a
shakes
nervous
his head.
chuckle.
Irina looks to you all. I assume that means that Davos is staying as well.
Oh yeah, the kid.
He's
Yeah.
gonna have to. We can't take him with us. Wouldn't be safe.
Well, I mean, this is just for the night, I guess, right? I mean, we'll have to figure out what to do with him in the morning.
Very well. 2 to a room. I will make sure there is enough pillows and turn down the sheets. Ismark, dinner is on the table. I assumed your friends would be having dinner with us, so I had made a little extra. See to their comfort while I am working. and she goes and makes her way up the stairs. Ismark invites you all to head back into the sitting room you all were in previously. You all make your way from the foyer into that smaller lounge area with two overstuffed, old and faded, but still comfortable couches, a few chairs, one of which Ismark goes and sits down at. Well, he goes over and walks over to it first, but the moment he does, he pauses and he walks over to a cabinet behind the chair. He opens it, and you see him pulling out a small, dusty bottle that he walks over with 6 small glasses. As he sets the glasses around the table and pours a little bit of liquid into each one. And you see a very clear liquid that the moment it starts getting poured out, you just smell heavy alcohol.
I'm such a shit.
Yeah, Urzak walks in last, and he sees the seating arrangement, and he sees Vide sitting there by himself. He just walks over and leans against the wall.
No. Sure you don't want to sit down? You know, never mind, buddy.
I think I'm good over here. Marty, I hope you like my Urzak voice. After pouring everybody a drink, smells very alcoholic, Ismark lifts up the glass instead and toasts everyone before slamming it back.
Coggle sip. Alcohol, a little bit goes a long way.
Danica's gonna throw it back.
Vide will raise his glass and, shoot it back.
I mean, I'm not going to check the whole thing, but if it's only just a little bit, if it's only just like a mouthful.
Yeah, it's just a shot, and it's hella strong. It's damn near rubbing alcohol, but it's potent and kind of, even as you sip, those of you who sip it, it kind of goes to your head a little bit. And he says, "Thank you all. Thank you for your help today. As for the morning, I have, allow me to show you." And he gets up once again, goes over to the bookshelf, and pulls out a roll of parchment. He walks it over and sets it down on the table and spreads it out, and you can see a map.
Finally, someone with a map.
Yes.
Since you have the map now, I'm going to show you what it fully looks like. Should all be able to see it quite clearly.
Yes.
As he spreads it out, he points to a place where you can all see. And he says to you, "Here, this is the village, Jova, right here. As you can see, this Castle Ravenloft. Now, over here," and he points to the far side of it. "Here is Algiba. It is, as you can see, quite a distance."
With that?
Yep. show you. Right there.
Yeah, that's
That is definitely a journey.
huh.
Not one that will be made in a day.
No, not at all. Now,
And,
over here, and he points to a place right here. This is Veros. It is a bigger town than Jova. It is on the banks of Lake Zarovich.
isn't
It
that where
is.
the goblins said they're from?
You would remember that the goblins said that they are somewhere somewhere outside of Veros.
Okay.
They said somewhere halfway between Jova and Veros.
Oh.
It is a long journey, as you see, and difficult. And I wish I could offer you horses or something like that, but there are none in Jova village. But here, and he points again to a place on the map, not far. He says, this here, this is the Za pool. It is a lake near a waterfall. And some of the woodsmen have told me that there are a Vistani camp near the pool, no more than 2 days ago. They are most likely there, and they are some of the few in Barovia who have horses.
Yeah, those people we met back in Laroba, didn't they say something about... I remember they gave us some names. I can't remember. Didn't they? Did they say the madam name? I think they... Didn't they bring her up?
When we are back in Laropa, they
Laropa.
did.
Yeah, that's why I just don't want to, throw anything out that they haven't said yet to us, man. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Vistani there did mention that they had a leader named Madame Ava,
Okay.
who was a seer who knew much about the land of Barovia.
He kind of tossed that name out and said, maybe they can bring us to this Madame Ava woman that those people that I guess told us to go up the mountain path. Well, they didn't really tell us to go. We were already going. So did they really bring us? Huh. That's kind of the chicken before the egg kind of argument, isn't it? Interesting. Anyway, maybe we can talk to these Vistani. Maybe they can give us some horses, and maybe they can give us some other help, too.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, because looking at this map, if the plan is to get Irina as far away from Castle Ravenloft, the main road goes almost right past it.
So, Matt, did you say this right here is the castle?
Yeah, that right there is the Castle Ravenloft.
Okay.
And Ismark says it is true that the road does go past the road to Castle Ravenloft, but it is very high on a small mountainside, and there is a gate right here that you would have to pass by. But the road to the castle is quite long. So you would be passing by it, but at the same time, you are in front of it right now. There is, of course, the possibility of going cross-country. But as the brother told you, traveling cross-country is very dangerous. I do know of another town here. It is a fishing village. It supplies Jova with much of its meat. It's called it is called Doina, which is Doina. But there is no main road from Jova to Dorina. You would have to get there by boat, which is complicated. As for the rest, beyond that is Mount Gakis. Very dangerous. It is perpetually covered in snow, even in the summer, and the summer is quite a long ways away. There are a few other towns in Barovia, but most are, well, many don't exist anymore. Aldira, for example, here, and he points to it on a place on the map near a river, just not far from a lake. He tells you, along the Luna River is a town that was wiped out by Strahd. I have often thought of hiding there, for why would the devil ever such a place he is already destroyed?
That's a good idea.
There is also a mining village way to the north, at near the base of Mount Baratok. But this is another very, very difficult journey, mostly done by river. The Svalich woods to the north, full of wolves, full of many dangers. Most do not go in. Which is why I suggest Aljiba. It has the fortified walls. It has the abbey. And it is the farthest point of civilization, farthest away from the castle. But then he sits back and he says, but if you find someplace better, just send me word.
Can I take this map with me?
Certainly.
We can make way for the Serre pool.
Yeah, definitely that would be a good first spot. See if we can get some assistance. Horses would be great.
Yes.
It's like he's sitting in the chair, but you see his feet aren't touching the ground.
Oh yeah.
So he's just like, yeah, that's a long way to go. And really, buddy, he's gonna look at Urzak. You would be carrying me half the time, so you want me to find a horse.
And then the only next civilization we would really see is Veros before we get to Aljiba.
Or wherever that goblin is. You're somewhere between Veros and Jova. Wouldn't mind getting he's gonna like crack his knuckles second shot at him.
I've given the group their first nemesis.
I mean,
Oh, it is purely Cog. The rest don't care.
no, Delphine doesn't care about the goblin. Delphine cares about Morgan.
But
Poor Toby.
So he's already marked a few places on the map for you all. He's going to give you one more, which is the road itself. He draws a very long line. And he shows you, he kind of draws it throughout the entire map, and he says, this is the Sauvage road. This is all of the paved areas that I know of. Hopefully, this will help you.
are you not going to be coming with us?
Oh no, I am
Okay.
definite.
And it just when you said it might help you, I was just like, oh, I assumed you'd want to come with us. So,
I have definitely been thinking on it. On the one hand, I am the burgomaster, but on the other hand, I want to see my sister safe, and you seem to be the best way to do it.
Well, we can do our best. It is a very long journey, and if what Brother Donovan says is right, it's going to be a dangerous one.
Kalex is gonna look at you and goes, his name is Donovich. I don't know if you guys caught that. It's Donovich.
Danika's gonna take another sip of her drink. Yeah. Donovan, it's about the same.
I just wanted, because that was a very interesting ordeal and interaction with him. Just figured maybe you'd want to know his name.
I could have swore he said his name was Donovan.
I think I heard both.
It's all right.
Ismark speaks up. It is Danovich.
Ismark, do you have another bottle of this I can take with?
This has not. We have not drank too much of this. Please help yourself. And he hands you over the bottle.
Oh no!
You know what, Chuck? Don't indulge her too much.
He's passing it, and everyone's like, no.
You want us to leave in the morning, right?
I just think she's gonna do exaggerated hand movements. I just think this would be a very persuasive instrument when we go to see the Vishani.
I can't tell if you're doing that on purpose or you're just like, Vistani.
I was close.
I can't tell if you, Natalie, were doing that on purpose or if you misheard the name and it's like, no, she's playing this perfect. You know what, sweetheart? I've got that grappa that we picked up back at the dead kid place. You know.
You don't think this is good enough too?
You can have this tonight.
The more the merrier.
And we'll leave the very potent stuff for later.
Okay. Well,
I'd sleight of hand a bottle of water to her, but Cog's not very good at that, so.
Probably.
Be like, this is good stuff, I promise.
But at least now you have a plan. Head for the Vistani camp once the sun rises and try to find some horses to make your travel a little easier. Now, does anybody have any questions for Ismark before you all head out? Or head up to bed, I suppose.
I don't know about everybody else, but if the Vistani that are at the Sare Pool are anything like the ones at the tavern, I don't necessarily have the means to be persuasive.
I can
Or things
I
that
can
we-
I can
We
help
can-
you with these.
We can give him gold. I mean,
I know I have at least 500 gold that I can give you to purchase horses, which should be more than enough.
we'll figure it out. We'll make a deal with him.
Perfect.
No, I think that's
Well,
actually.
I
Yeah.
kind of want to try to persuade him to give me more just so I can just burn my nat 20 coin.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's almost 10 o'clock. We need to get going. Go for it. Burn that nat 20.
Alright, yeah, I'm going to persuade him to give us more, and that's a 21.
He says, I will do what I can and see what I can put together.
Can I have one more question for Ismark?
Sure.
Ismark, you told us earlier that we had to share rooms. Is yours included? And then she's gonna throw him a leaf.
I should have saw that coming.
I had to do something, though, to burn that nat 20 coin.
Right.
That's okay. We gotta make more money. That was perfect. That was perfect. It was very lucrative.
Also, I could use my Heart of Darkness, too, to convince him. Because that's what I did to try to get the free drinks before.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Delphine wants the money so that she can put more spells in her spell book.
Oh, that's true. You do need to get some.
I'm just shaking my head at you all. No.
Wasn't Cog's fault this time.
I assume you are not serious.
Now you're just being shellfish.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I think this is a great place to end things for this evening.
Please.
Well, thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. It's been an interesting one. Let's go ahead and go around the table and have everyone tell us who they are and where we can find you on the internet, and tell us how bad Danika's boot smells right now, as she is just straight up rejected by Ismark the Lesser. Dyto, you go first.
Hi, I'm Dyto. You can find me on Twitter at Dyto11. Tomorrow night, I will be on Lost Caravan playing some Colt at 8:00 p.m. Eastern. I think on a scale of a healthy poop to just liquid diarrhea, Danika probably smells like a poop that has been smushed in a diaper for too long.
Oh,
Probably. That sounds about right. Natalie, you're next.
No. There's a reason why he's Ismark the Lesser. Because he's lesser than the bottom of this boot. But
Wow.
Wow.
I know it's so bad
Wow.
today.
Dude, stop. He hasn't given us the money yet.
Right?
My name's Natalie, and you can find me here on Random Rhapsody, on YouTube now. But I'm here.
Okay. Joe, you're next.
Well, I am Blood from Stone here in Random Rhapsody Monday nights at 7. Our campaign there, while it is goofy because we have our very own Natalie in that campaign, and her name is Alyssa. She gets into mighty hijinks there too, but we're going up to stop a god from being reborn, and somehow that is still not more interesting than what just happened. So yeah, come check us out every Monday at 7. I'm on Twitter at Blood from Stone with 0 and from, but I don't really do much there. But this Cog didn't drag this episode down, so I'm proud of that. Normally, it's me that's causing all the trouble. If Marty were here, the Urzak and Vide stuff would have been so much heavier. But I let it go because he wasn't here to stare at me and the cameras when I look over at OBS. So, but yeah, no. Every Monday we have a lot of fun, and Brandie is there in the afternoon, so come watch her too.
Well, Brandie, go for it.
Yep, I'm Brandie. You can find me here every Monday at 3 playing everyone's favorite turtle monk in the Debauchery Circus. I'm also obviously here every other Wednesday playing Vide. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and all that is at RiverDragon82. That's River with a Y because I have to be special. And I'm just glad Vide is very, very, very good at holding his breath, so he doesn't have to smell those boots.
Yeah, probably. Well, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network. You can find me here every Monday and Wednesday where I'm doing a lot of this. This Saturday, I will be on the Trans Versus All on the Table TTRPG content at 2 p.m. Central, where I'm going to be playing Tybal, the Catfolk Rogue, alongside a bunch of random goofballs about to go take on a bunch of kobolds and God knows what else in the Pathfinder box set. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come hang out with us. But until then, on behalf of everyone here in the cast and crew, I just want to say thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may you live until you die. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.